Hey everyone, and welcome back to Miss Azrael's Gaming. So we're going to hop back into Tavern Talk today. And if you remember, we've put together a quest for the vampire Kyle, which is a very funny name for a vampire, but I think he had like a full name, but the dwarf, I think her name was Rhea, she was like, it's Kyle. So we put together a quest for Kyle, and Fable took a quest. And we put another one together for, or am I thinking of the werewolf? I might be thinking of the werewolf. But I know that we put together another one. So let's just go ahead. We're going to start the next day. This is Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. 3 new friends and former enemies. 59th of the Wake. Curious to see who we're going to meet today. My shipment of infusions finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fey crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with Fable's Phoenix chilies, I have 3 infusions now. I'll unpack them later when I have time. I have a feeling they'll be of some use. Soon. We're left out soon. Okay, so I got the achievement, Diplomacy is Key. Okay, so... Innkeep, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Care. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you. I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not? So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at the very least. Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud, more of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. Oh. Fable's face. But no one died? No. Elfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf. I thought she wasn't going to do that because she was worried it was a family member. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot? I think she's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of. I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Care. I didn't. Was there by chance. They were both stealing the sheep. Was not. Sure was. Adventuring don't pay what it used to. So you steal other people's sheep? Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? How about at the beginning? Right. I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon. Of the quest, Fable. Right, the quest. Traveling there was no trouble. I knew enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of the Targaryen right around the dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of the wild fields and vineyards, as well as one farm after another. An idyllic sight, well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness, and I am no owl. Thank God. You're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay. I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were falling. Wait. I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. There we go. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer, and I saw the werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all my courage and I stepped out of the shadows and I said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. It confused me, all right. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? A polite person. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a what? So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said again, "Please put down the sheep." I'm having trouble talking today. And she asked, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice." And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you? A guard?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality and then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. And it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps and barely dared to turn around. You turn around immediately. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow eyes gleaming. Gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, and an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear. The old... I mean, it's a dirty word. I'm just the old effer, but... Hey, why can't I say that? Oh, is it something with the end? Does my end not allow curse words? What the... Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh. Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Haven't seen that old man in years. Was coping about it in a joke. That's the only way I can talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually, he just left, ran away, without a word, left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. Swore I was going to kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. It turns out his solution was just to get rid of those problems as far away from everyone as possible. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fist? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How do you figure that out? Well, as she was yelling at him, I didn't understand half of it. I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But it got them to stop for long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would never have done that, of course. But they must have believed me, because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little pal. Thank you. I sat them down and did my best to be an insurmountable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds rather dangerous. 'Twas. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You were the size of a stick. You think you could stop two angry wolves? Oh, well, anyway. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out, after Mr. Dragon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we'd known, we'd have helped him best we could. But at the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things, or Volcakin things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness, and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep do. But they had to talk about it. The silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that? The little stick is oddly persuasive. Had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a great sword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with a cure he still can barely control himself. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. That he has to accept he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs. That sounds like a bunch of... It's real. You're a crescent moose. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new. So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one? Exactly. I like that. So after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together? Got offered to spend the day at the settlement. But they don't serve anything strong enough for my taste. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back here. Was talking about how they need to update you on everything nonstop. Would think they live here or something. I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Ah. Said something about it being for you, Innkeep. Oh, really? Yeah. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. That wasn't that hard, was it? Well... So a drink. What can I offer you, Care? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which I mean make me the usual. Strength never gets old. Okay, so for that one, we need the Southern Brawler. No, the Southern Brawler. Yeah. Okay, so we have a little bit of defense, a little bit of charisma, and the rest is strength. Surprise. Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring me some of my agility back? Like a swift strike back to my senses. I've had a stressful day. Night, morning, sequence of events. They always want swift strike. Okay, need a little defense. Intelligence. And dexterity. Here you go. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're going to pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent. It's depressing. I have a room available. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for help with the quest. Fine. Later, Elfie. See you later. Are you heading home, Fable? Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. Have you considered that you weren't pretending? Yes, very good job. Maybe you should order that drink more often. I mean, maybe you weren't pretending. You did well, Fable. Thank you. I hope that wasn't my only adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day? That's a very tall order. You're right. I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end. Right. But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help. Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second. We'll see. Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity. Even it would make for a good song. Or a sad one. Or both. I'm going to head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. I can't wait. See you soon. See you soon. Okay, so we've reached the evening. Oh, look, the rogue came back and he doesn't have his hood on. Good evening to you, too. Oh, is he going to take a quest? Oh, what quest are you taking? I'm so curious. This quest. It wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. Did the wind carry you in? Maybe it's Zephyr? No, my legs. Might be Zephyr. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally, physically, emotionally. Emotionally? I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle to get the cape. I mean... Yes. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know the castle? Yes. It seems strange. It is. A vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence. Me too. Has she ever frequented your tavern? No, not recently. But she has. Once, had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So she was only here at night? Yes. Would you say she was unnaturally pale? No, she had a lot of makeup on. But below that mask? Sure, yes. Would guess she looks pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. Interest. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? Did you hear about wolves avoiding the castle? Really? All of them? Yes, she has a lot of werewolf traps set up, but all animals seem to steer clear of Morrow Castle. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land in one way or another. As a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. Do you not sympathize with that? Thievery is not an honorable skill, but it must be performed in secret. Or you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude. I suppose. Only thing worse than that is stealing a man's hat. Not if it's cursed. Especially then. Point is, if you defend yourself from having your trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences. The consequences being you? Exactly. It definitely sounds like you know what you're doing. Of course I do. I am one with the shadows and the wind, gone before they even notice I'm here. So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right? Certainly. Gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills. What about some interior decorations? Like what, for example? Just something to pretty up my tavern a little bit. Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration. Like a chair? Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I'd prefer something smaller, like a little trinket. My walls are still a bit empty. Wait, you're being serious? Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. Well then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and the cape back to me, along with a neat little addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No. Too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. I heard your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade for them? Secrets. How about a joke? How about secrets? Secrets? I have many. I was going to say, he looks like a guy that's got secrets. Grant me one. I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before, just yesterday. You may not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy, I spent hours just watching you from afar. Hey now! Hey now, buddy. I mean, you seem a little obsessed with me. I'm just going to say. I know I have a thing for rogues, but I mean, you can't just go hiding in the shadows and not let me know you're here. That is definitely a secret. You cleaned a lot of glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked so worried after the adorable green one left. Like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. And you're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. You may have one of my renowned drinks. And some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them. Infusions? Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? For your purposes, I think you could benefit with either some fey crystals or a frozen pine cone. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of the nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fey crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible. Eventually, and for a bit, the duration is a bit unpredictable. I've also got some Phoenix chilies, but I don't think those will be very useful for your situation. Interesting. So, what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of the undead nature, so I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. Though that does sound appealing. Strength I can do. And some frost armor would help with the fangs. Or perhaps the smarter route would be to evade her wrath entirely, to out-stealth her and steal the cape from right under her pale nose, so that she may lie in the shame of having lost against me. I think such an appropriate approach would require a certain amount of dexterity, and some invisibility could help with staying unseen should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision, Innkeep. Your wisdom is no secret, is it? Now that I have access to infusions, I have to be careful in how they interact with other ingredients. They might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding the infusion first and adjusting the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Okay, so now we have infusions. Okay, so we have the frozen pine cone. It is sometimes hard to tell which ones are magical ingredients and which ones are regular frozen pine cones. Either way, they seem to get the job done. Okay, they make frost armor, which is the ultimate solution when it comes to protection against anything, whether physical or magical, a bit cold, but nothing a blanket couldn't fix. The fey crystals, much like the playful fey they are named after, the fey crystals deceive. They're not actually crystals, but magical plants handmade by Seelie sages wishing to share their magical gifts with the world. Invisibility is the perfect aid for stealth quests as well as hunting, very helpful for avoiding fights entirely. Okay, so the Phoenix chili, the rare Phoenix chili is found natively only near the charred valleys of the burning peaks. Though an invasive species, it is delicious. Fire resistance is great when fighting enemies that wish to burn you to ashes. Helps a bunch when fighting draconic creatures, but does not protect against lava. Northern Republic. Okay, so the Northern Republic of Fasoia is Fasoia's primary nation. It is geographically and culturally divided by the large mountain range of Dovomir, stretching over a significant portion of the continent. The Republic's western side is so expansive it is divided into northern and southern half. The Northern Republic is full of lush forest and mangroves. Coastal cities are important trading hubs for the islands in the west, like Dira or the Highlands. Even further north are the fearsome mountains, a giant and fairly dangerous mountain range to explore, partly due to the semi-regular volcanic activity. Okay, so there's our quest. So we still have this one, yeah, Evelyn, which is the one he's going to take. And then we still have the sunrise. Yeah, I think you can only put those together at the end of the day. Let's go through the characters. We haven't done that yet. Rhea Frostgrip, a dwarf, 175 years old. She, her. Blacksmith, background is alignment, lawful, neutral, arcana, the world. So Rhea is a hot-headed dwarf and pretty rough around the edges. She's not a fan of meaningless copy-paste NPC talk, whatever any of that means, and seems to have caught herself a lost vampire while digging for gold. Unfortunately, or so she claims, she's now stuck with him. Then we have Alfonso Louis Frederick Duquette Dusang, vampire, or he's also known as Kyle. Don't know his age, he, him. Class is vampire. Background, Ardu, where. Alignment, chaotic, neutral, arcana, the fool. So, a peculiar visitor looking everywhere for his beloved cape. However, it seems that he has definitely lost more than just that. Possibly also a few of his memories and his marbles. He was once married to Lady Evelyn, a vampire countess residing in Morrow Castle, and enjoyed sunbathing, maybe a tad bit too much. Okay, so I know I read Rhea and Care and when I played the demo, but I'll go ahead and, read them now in case, nobody had seen that yet. Okay, so Fable, Verafina. Ken is elf, age 110, they, them, class is ranger, background is Ashen Grove, alignment is neutral good, arcana is the hanged man. Fable, Verafina is a ranger taking care of the Ashen Grove. They're a sweet and gentle soul and a regular at the Wayfarer's Inn. They dream of being an adventurer but are troubled by severe anxiety about, everything, really. Their nut allergy probably doesn't help either. So we have Carolyn Pinoak? Pintanac? No, good lord, I'm not gonna. Pintoayak, maybe? Okay, so Ken is Vukakin. Age is 36. She, her. Class is Beast Slayer. Background is Erove. Alignment, chaotic good. And arcana is the chariot. So Kara is a strong and fearless Beast Slayer with a taste for strong drinks, big swords, and even bigger muscles. She despises small talk in any way or form, and understandably for her, keeps her distance from werewolves. Wouldn't like being mistaken for one either. And then we have Zephyr. Ken is Air Echo. Age 25, he, they. Class is rogue, background Thamus, alignment is chaotic good, and the moon. And then we don't really have any more information about him. Why is this still coming up? Oh, Northern Republic. I think that was the same thing. Oh, we have the Moon Swamp. The Moon Swamp is a swamp area connected to the Dark Marsh, more swamps. Its name comes from the mythical area within the Moon Swamp, where allegedly all 7 moons reflect in a pool of clear water all at once. These moon pools are a place where only few have seen, and its physical rather than metaphorical reality is a highly contentious topic. The swamp is very tricky to traverse, since even during daytime it's entirely covered in a thick fog, only getting worse with bad weather. While the Moon Swamp is beautiful at times, many adventurers do not venture far into it, valuing their safety over a thorough tour. Okay, I don't see any other ones. Okay, so now I can give him any drink. I'm leaning towards, because our character mentioned that the invisibility one, which is the Fey Crystal, can sometimes fail. So I think it would be best for him to go in with strength. So I'm going to make him... I don't think we've done a Sparkling Nebula. I think that's the only one we haven't done. Okay, so I'm going to give him a Southern Brawler. And I'm going to add the one ingredient to it, the frozen pine cone. Where's that? Here we go. So the suggestion was to add the ingredient first and then do the drink. So let's try that and see how that turns out. And then we want a Southern Brawler. Okay, not too different than the base drink. Oh, I think I... Oh, okay, hold on. I get it. It's technically already added that because of this. So really, all I have to add is the charisma, right? That's charisma. And then the strength for the Southern Brawler. Yeah, so that, I mean, that looks like it matches up. Is there anything else that goes in it? No, because that's not on the points. The only points that are taken are here. So I think that's ready. Okay, some spice to the table. Add any infusion to a mix of drink. Your choice was the achievement. Okay, here you go. A drink that all vampires fear. Liquid Sunrise. Not quite, but that's a good name. May I steal it? You don't ask for permission before you steal something, Innkeep. Then it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the Liquid Sunrise? Good one. It tastes like the sun, a cold sun, and I shall strike her down as such. The sun? Evelyn. Ah, that makes more sense. Goodbye, Innkeep. I would say pray that the sun will carry me back to you. Oh, well, I mean, you better come back to me. But my hopes do not lie with the Realm Keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance. Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a good story. Farewell. Okay, so we just unlocked Zephyr's information. Okay, so Zephyr is a difficult character to say the least. They're so caught up in their own fantasies of an edgy rogue that they seem to be stuck talking or brooding like one too. He likes all the things dangerous and mysterious, or at least he pretends he does. Or for a bitter end. What is she doing now? I thought she was sleeping. Oh, she's going to take our other quest. Okay. I'm taking this quest and a drink. Great. Did you sleep well? What? Sleep. How was it? Ah, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. No, your beds are just too comfortable. Was hard to get up. Of course. My apologies. I'll make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as a compensation? I think you already said that. Make me something strong that will wake me up and keep me up too. Okay, so her favorite, Southern Brawler. I don't think we have to add anything to it. Do we? She wants something that will wake her up. No, I don't think we need any extras. This is just a basic drink. Something strong coming right up. That is strong. Just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should call this drink the Carlin. No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest? Yes, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. Well, this is awkward. I see it is my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned. It's been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for vampire sunscreen? Couldn't get more reckless than that. It could be by taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. I won't. So the saliva's for vampire. Vampire sunscreen. Can a vampire get their chimera goo themselves? It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own quest, the quest economy would be in shambles. Suppose that'd be terrible for your business. Indeed. Does it bother you that it's for a vampire? No. Does it make you nervous? No. You did mention that you like fangs. Did I mention that I have a great sword 3 times the size of your head? I'm sure a vampire would find that impressive. Have you ever encountered a chimera before? No, not a real one. Got me thinking, ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian? Depends. Are you religious? Guess not. Then no. Would it be if I was? Don't think so. Chimeras stole riches all the time, and they were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine. Good thing you ain't a priest. You do a piss poor job. Thank you. Is blasphemy what you're most worried about? I ain't worried. Okay. Nervous? Ain't that either. Then what is it? Excitement, I suppose. Excitement? Don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm asking. Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. And I've always sort of wanted to. Why haven't you? Ain't exactly easy to find one or to survive one. This seems like a great opportunity for you then. It is. What's it about guardians? It's less about the guardian and more about what created it. And maybe a little bit about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right? Yes, modeled after its creator, I would guess. So let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons and chimeras with dragon heads? They're cool. Also, when I was little, my Baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she left. One day she was just gone. Think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. Okay, so we learn like the relic of the realm keepers, so it's a rumor. Might eventually lead to a quest. At least she left her savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera? No. Was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different variety of scales, even a cow one, I think, but never found a wyvern in all of her years. It would have been nice to be able to tell her the story when I return. If I return. I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I make for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So you like dragons? I do or I don't? I mean, I do. I love dragons. They're fascinating creatures. Very interesting. Very magical. They are. Fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little. Really wanted their magic and their wings. You can just ask them for their magic. Not sure about their wings. I ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic. Why not? I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. And I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons. A little help never hurt anybody. A little self-reliance don't either. If you say so. Does that mean you don't want to drink to pep you up, Kara? Didn't say that. I see. That doesn't count as help? It's payment for me taking on your quest. Sure. You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions to offer that could greatly help with your quest. Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple. Alright, what can I get you then? I reckon a little bit of a boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be too hardy for its bite. Some defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Baba talked quite a lot about how much they enjoyed a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea. Are you sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. That could be very useful in a fight. Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one. And on the topic of trickery, no, one is enough. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies, or you go heavy on intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job. Figure it out. Okay, so I'm definitely putting chilies in her drink. So, picking the chili, I'm going to be doing the defensive potion. So apparently you cannot mix it with the, which one is it? The Sparkling Nebula, which is mostly the intelligence one. Yeah. So we're going to be giving her a Frosted Lagoon, which is hilarious because we're doing a fire and ice type bit with the fiery chili peppers and the frozen drink. Okay, so we need to add a little charisma. Okay, this is already covered, and then we just need to do the defense. Figured it out. Thanks. Feeling tougher already, and dangerously close to catching fire myself. Think I could almost take on a dragon like this. Let's stay grounded. How urgent is the sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends to not take a break, even for vampires. Maybe he should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems. Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Good luck. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. Okay, so that's the end of that day. Feed Adu. Or I think it's Andu. Clean up and blow out the candles. Okay, so we are in Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn, 4 Starlight Sonata, 60th of the Wake. Oh, it's like a little dragon guy sleeping on her picnic table out front. Oh, we got a new person. Looks like an elf. Okay, so we did get that one, but apparently we didn't get anything to make a quest, or do we have to go to our own board? Okay, we don't. I think once you get the information, that's when it'll pull it up automatically. I don't think we actually have to pull it up. So, hey, Innkeep. Hey, Chrissy. Long time no see. So true. I've been pretty busy this hatching season. A lot to do. Yeah, the birds seem to be in a slight uproar, like something is amiss. I can't figure it out what. Animals often have a sixth sense, you know. They do indeed. Anyways, hand over a drink, will you? Of course. What'll it be this time? Something for the wits again. You know me well. Too well, I guess. That's the curse of being a regular. Eventually, I'll have you all figured out. I hate to disappoint you, but you're wrong today. Am I now? Yes, I'm quite confident in the capabilities of mind and wits. Of course. So what I'll need instead is something to protect me from weather or foe, so I'm steeled for any situation. That makes sense. I'll see what I can do. So that would be a defensive one. Which is the Frosted Lagoon. Need a little charisma. A bit of that. And a whole lot of defense. Liquid steel, just a bit more digestible. This is exactly what I need for my trip. Where are you headed anyways? Oh, to the island of Boreas. I want to reconnect with some friends at the annual Borean Art Convention. Isn't Boreas difficult to reach? Not exactly a place known for its population. The convention is especially for creatures like Savant. I know how to say that word, but for some reason I cannot. Sylvian spirits, trolls, and the like. They'll also be electing the scariest monster for the next issue of Screech Magazine. That sounds exciting. It'll be a sight to behold for sure. But do you know what I'm most excited about? Gnomes? Nymphs? I mean, if you're related to Fable by any chance, it's probably the nymphs. Let's go with gnomes. Gnomes? I've yet to meet a gnome on Boreas. They're pretty shy, but they craft cute little trinkets. Always wanted to have one for my tavern. If I run into a gnome, I'll buy a trinket for you. Now that we know what I'd be excited for, how about you? The geysers and hot springs, especially around this time of year when the mornings are still a bit chilly, and the sun tickles the sky on the horizon. That sounds lovely. I'm sure those things will be nice muses too. Bet. I'm bringing an extra pair of paints this time so I don't run out again. I mean, Fable taught me how to make some from flowers and berries, but Borean flora is unsuitable for things like that. Seems like you're well prepared either way. Absolutely. How are the birds doing apart from being in distress? Well, the cinnamon green-cheeked Connors are growing up to be such a lovely bunch. I can't wait to release them back into the wild once they're strong enough. With your care, they'll be ready in a heartbeat. I'm guessing you're taking Ruby and Merlin along to the convention? Of course. As for the others, I obviously can't take them with me. But I asked Fable to look after everyone. In exchange, I'll teach them how to grow zucchini. Speaking of which, I wanted to leave my keys under their doormat. Sorry for the short stay, but I gotta hurry or else I'll miss my boat. It's quite the walk to their treehouse. And you don't want to have to compensate me for that, do you? I wouldn't mind, but I also don't want you to be late to your convention. Well then, so long, Innkeeper. See you soon. Why even stop for a drink? Okay, evening. Good evening. Good evening, Fable. Did you have a good day? I did. I visited Mr. Dragon and the other werewolves. Told them about Carolyn's quest and the wyvern chimera. Oh, so you heard about that. She told me before she left. In case she told me some things to pass on to Mr. Dragon that I can't repeat here. I think she's happy he's back. I think so too. Did you have tea with the werewolves? Of course. We had a grand time together. I mentioned how much fun I had with the moon signs. So they taught me more about the stars and their hidden meanings. Which stars? Both sets. They specialize in Cassiopeia. You know, the night sky constellation on the astral plane and all? But they have one astrologer who knows a lot about the reflections in the pool of the primordial sea. And she promised to teach me about that too. I can't wait to learn how the sea mirrors, echoes, and distorts the constellations. That's how she pitched it. Exciting, right? Very. That's what I thought. So what is it, Fable? I may or may not have finished that little gift I was talking about yesterday. Or rather, that Carolyn was talking about. You know, the little keepsake from my time with the werewolves. Yes, I recall. A reminder of my very first successful quest. I just didn't know if you... I like trinkets. Oh? What is it? It's a piece of embroidery of a constellation. The werewolves taught me how to do it. While the astrologer told us stories and myths about the stars and their twin reflections, I imagined it to be a constellation from a faraway realm. I call it the Little Dipper. Ooh, we get it added to our wall. That's cool. It does look a little like a... It does look a bit like a Little Dipper. I think it could also be a Big Dipper. I mean, it looks... From the wall, it looks small, but it could be the big one. But we'll go with the small one. Using a lot of imagination. Who knows, maybe there's a world out there with this exact configuration of stars in the night sky. There might be. Maybe the Little Dipper is part of a larger constellation. A bear, for example. A bear? Innkeeper, I think you might be the one dreaming something up now. Most likely. Are you fond of the stars surrounding us? I do like to watch them from time to time. Oh, really? Do you prefer the stars of the astral or the primordial sea? The astral or the primordial? Let's go with primordial. Really? Somehow that fits. Your magic reminds me of it. A mere coincidence. You have to figure your birth date is soon, so I can calculate your birth chart. If that's okay with you, of course. It is. I'll write it all down for you. That's great. Thank you. I think you may be a double jackdaw. Are you? We'll see. We will. Until then, care for a drink to wind down. Or something more zesty, perhaps? A drink, please. I think I figured out how to make my own zest. Happy to hear that, Fable. But drinks, not sure how to make those just yet, especially those with the right balance. I still have to make the rounds around the grove later. So, could you make me something that will keep me awake and agile? Do you think you know me well enough to guess what I might need? I'm already on it. I could use a reminder. I think I'm already on it. Thank you. One moment. Swift strike. That's what they always order. Keep defense. Intelligence. Here. Thank you. This is delicious. You always know what I need. I think you may also need a break, so maybe stay a while before heading back. That sounds like a good idea. I'll just idle here a bit if that's okay. Always. Enjoy your rest, Fable. Thank you. Oh, so that's kind of like in Coffee Talk where somebody will take a break and somebody else comes in. Greetings, Innkeep. Greetings, Kyle. Greetings, Green Creature. Greetings, Mr. Vampire. Oh, how polite. Are you enjoying your drink? I am, thank you. Then I shall leave you to its inspiring aftertaste. Innkeep, say, did you move your inn by any chance? It took me hours to find it. I did not. Are you sure? I believe new alleyways may have formed themselves around your establishment. With winding paths and dark corners. Anything could be hiding within them. Like a vampire. No, silly snack. I don't need to hide. Except during games of hide and seek, and I'm very good at those. Maybe the inn wanted to play around with you. Mayhaps, but it underestimated my skill. As a 3-time hide-and-seek world champion, I would never lose to such a youngling of an inn. It's not that young. The wood isn't even rotting yet, dear Innkeep. It still has eons ahead of it. I like the sound of that. As a celebration of a match well won, may I offer you a drink? Yes, I think that would be well deserved. Has that delicious blood of yours made it onto the menu yet? Not yet. Shame. Then I shall have some of that faux blood again, please. It does make my bones feel more sturdy. Coming right up. That's the Southern Brawler, isn't it? Yeah, because it's the red one. Okay, little defense. Little charisma. And strength. Some faux blood for your bones. Enjoy. Ah, this is perfect, Innkeep. The only thing that can make me happier would be a drink lovingly titled the Innkeeper's Vein. Keep dreaming, Count Dracula. Speaking of dreams, how is the retrieval of my cape coming along? Swimmingly. Well, actually, I think there's very little water involved. I wouldn't be so sure. My dear Evelyn has a beautiful pond filled with long-toothed spine guppies in her courtyard. It's her pride and joy. I would hope no one is swimming in that. But I have sent someone on your quest. I'm sure he'll return soon, and you and your cape will be reunited. Marvelous. Speaking of inseparable teams, where's Rhea? Oh, she's taking the day off. She demanded vacation time, so I said she could choose any day, and she chose today. I was going to also take a day off and spend her vacation with her. But when I wanted to follow her to the market, my sleeve caught on fire, and my hand in my hair. So I was forced to stay back due to my allergies. The weeping amaryllis pollen is very bad this time of year. And the sun. The sun is also bad for vampires. It is? Yes. Right. I need sunscreen. It's in the works. Did you get to see the market later? I did. It was beautiful, colorful, and filled with music that would make anyone's heart dance. But I couldn't find Rhea anywhere, so I felt a little lonely. Luckily, I managed to make a new friend in no time, very tall and brooding, just how I liked them. I inquired if I could try on his dark armor of swirling shadow and onyx bone, but he said if I tried to take it from him, he would turn me to ash. What a jokester. Dark armor of swirling shadow and onyx bone? Yes, a true connoisseur of fashion. He's just visiting. He said, add some great crepe recommendations. Plum crepes with ash sprinkles? Yes, they tasted deliciously dead. I see. So Stranger of the Night is a new rumor. So obviously the Innkeeper knows who this person is. We've obviously heard of him before because we were naming things that this knight has had. I hope you enjoyed your evening together. We did, though I feel like he asked something of me. I promise I would remember. Perhaps he wanted my cape. Many people want my cape. Perhaps. But I would have never agreed to that. It is my cape after all. Maybe he wanted my Pasca recipe. Is it good? Very much so. Then I'd like it as well. Oh, yes, you... Me. He asked me about you. Me? Yes, see, he's an old friend of yours. He was very curious about how your inn is doing. I sing your praises, of course, so he asked me to deliver your greetings. And congratulations on the well-run establishment. How did he phrase it? Deliver my congratulations on the faux peace your precious innkeep has found in her house of denial. Very poetic, if you ask me. Very. If only I could remember his name. Does my description of him ring any bells for you? No, I'm afraid not. Too bad. He must be an old childhood friend. Maybe you went to school together. I heard many friendships are formed in such halls. Maybe. Do you want to tell me more about your time at the market? Most certainly. I found the loveliest trinkets, like a little stuffed bear with a tiny raincoat and a crescent elder moon necklace. I found a gorgeous sun charm as well. I bought it for Rhea as a welcome back from vacation gift. It's very sweet. Your friend bought a delightful raven figure with eyes of starlight. Please don't call him that. We should never deny our friends, even if we don't remember them. I don't remember any of my friends. Alas, I still love them, even if their memory lives on only in my heart. Anyhow, he said it was a gift to himself to celebrate the dawning of the month of the astral moon. Oh, I love Cassiopeia so dearly. She's the most beautiful month, is she not? A haven of starlight reflected in the primordial sea below. Only once a year is she this close to us, and only then for a short period of time. To me, she's the harbinger of yearning and of change. I wonder how we'll change this month. I hope to be more careful in sunscreen by the end of it. Maybe even a little less alone. What about you? I like the way I am, but I wouldn't say no to stocking up on more ingredients. Ah, the refusal to change is dangerous, Innkeeper. Change always comes to those who deny it the most. By the end of the astral moon, we shall no longer be who we once were. That sounds like a threat. By no means. Maybe it promises mourning, but maybe celebration also, could it not? For example, my dear Rhea hated vampires when she met me, and now she likes me. True change can occur before the stars change, it seems. You are hard to dislike. I think she still hates you. Let's be nice. We'll just say, you're hard to dislike. Oh, how sweet of you. As sweet as my blood. I have a lot of it. I would hope you do. It runs warm and people are kind to me. In all my millennia, kindness has always made me the happiest. There's nothing greater than friendship, don't you agree? And nothing more fragile. That makes it all the more precious. That reminds me, I forgot a crucial part of the message. Our dear friend stranger told me that he would like to see you again. He said, what was it? Don't think too hard about it. Ah, of course, the letter. The letter? The polite young man gave me a letter to deliver to you. What a sweet gesture. I shall pass it on to you forthwith. It's up there. Thank you. A stranger's come to town. He likes plum crepes and spooky armor. Do we get to read the letter at some point? Are you not going to open it? No, I don't think now's the right time for the letter. Not enough moonlight. But wouldn't it be kind of romantic, longingly dwelling in the memories of a friend? It would go so well with the fireworks. What fireworks? I have no clue. He said he hopes you'll enjoy them. Fireworks. Doesn't that sound lovely? I hope they aren't part of a private event. I think that would be difficult to do with fireworks. I don't mean to interrupt, but what is it, little fawn? Look outside. I think I think the fireworks have started. Oh, how beautiful. They're falling from the sky. Hello, little fireworks. Sparkle on. I don't think those are fireworks. Those aren't fireworks. They're stars. To get the achievement, see the stars. Is that supposed to happen? That's not good. They look like they were crashing into the town. I wonder who the stranger is. So Act 2, Starlight Sonata. 5, Picking Up the Pieces, First of the Astral Moon. Alright, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I'm doing about... Well, thanks for hooting in my ear, Al. Maybe the owl was letting me know it was time up. I'm doing about two a day for the videos. Not sure how long the game is altogether. I haven't really looked into that, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I love meeting the new characters. I'm really curious about who our so-called friend is. Let me know down in the comments down below who you think it could be. It's obviously somebody who probably wants our N. That's what I feel like. I feel like our N's magical, and whoever this person is, he wants our N, and he wants to take it from us. So we're not going to let that happen if that's the case. Not at all. So please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.